Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Scrapper. And this is a crime thriller from writer, director, and star Bari Kang, who plays Jake, who's an ex-con who gets out, trying to get back involved with his family, and he has his pregnant wife, and they're trying to build a life together, and he kind of gets pulled back in with his sister and them owing some money and getting caught up in like a violent crime syndicate between the Punjabi and the Mexican crime groups that are in this film. And this is, you know, your pretty standard, I thought I was out, and they pull me back in. And except there's no Al Pacino. That would have been interesting. That would have definitely grabbed my attention. But in many ways, I feel like The Scrapper kind of hits on a lot of those tropes that you get in a lot of these crime stories where it's just like you have an ex-con, he's trying to get out because of course there's one last thing that pulls him back in. It puts his family at risk. And you know, this film has some solid tension. It has some solid action and violence that bring out that tension and thrills throughout the film. And there's some emotional beats and, like, you know, people get hurt that really challenge our main character, Jake. And, you know, he has his wife, he has his brother, who might, most likely is probably on the spectrum, and, like, trying to protect them. And you have these characters, and he cares about them. My big thing is, I don't think Jake's the most interesting character, and I don't know if Kang really brings a whole lot of like extra charisma to make him stand out as like a leading character. I think one of the biggest things that you need in like an action thriller is to have that lead who you connect with and you care about, which you have that basic setup here because you have the very human and relatable elements of the story. Like, you have this brother who's at risk, you have this wife who has a child, and like you care about him on that level. But he's not in himself a very interesting or charismatic character, so it's kind of hard to actually, like, you know, go through the motions with him and really find like a spark there. And I feel like that's probably the thing that I felt missing the most, is like, this is a pretty solid, straight by the numbers kind of crime thriller, but it doesn't have that spark, like something that just lights it up and brings that extra level of excitement. There's no like John McClane being like, come out to California, have a good time, have some laughs. And like, you don't have like that kind of charisma. You don't have that kind of like snappy dialogue. Most of the dialogue in this film is like pretty serviceable and just to like moving the plot along. There's nothing really, and there's moments where it's just like it feels like it's going through the motions and you kind of lose attention at some of these points, especially in that second act. But it builds up to, you know, a satisfying conclusion. This film it hits the beats that it needs to hit, not doing them in any particularly unique or interesting way. But if you're into crime thrillers, this is a crime thriller. It does everything it needs to do. It might be enough for you. If you're looking for something more interesting and dynamic and different and thought-provoking, this might not be your thing. But in the end, I think this is a solid film, so maybe check it out if you're into this genre. But those are my thoughts on The Scrapper. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.